All right, folks, let's move to the AFC West. The Denver Broncos next up. So use hashtag Broncos to have your questions or comments on the show. Play nice, Mitchell. Play nice during this segment. But you don't play nice about Joe Flacco. Is he the guy for Denver long term?
Joe Flacco, John Flacco, Josh Flacco. Hopefully you didn't watch any of my last past show. No, I think when you're looking at the Denver Broncos, again, I think this is, I don't want to say it. I think this is the worst team in the division right now, and I don't really know what they want to do yet. I know you're going to look at me crazy, but
a little bit.
I still think that they need a center. Quarterback I still think is a need. I don't believe in Joe Flacco, and I don't know what this Broncos team, in my opinion, is trying to do. I don't know their MO.
They're trying to win right now with Joe Flacco at the helm, while also balancing the fact that they do need a long-term franchise guy. So I am not going to rule out a Drew Lock at 10. I still think that makes a lot of sense to the Denver Broncos if he's on the board. Thunder 404 is asking it. I think so. That's going to be a very popular mock draft pick for me. If it's not Joe Flacco, I think maybe they look for a linebacker. Tom eats 50 paper plates. I guess that's my punishment. Oh, that's so gross. That's just not fun. As it relates to Devin White,
bad paper cuts
I don't think he's there. Inside linebacker is a bit of a need because you let go of Brandon Marshall. You have Todd Davis. Don't forget, they drafted Josie Jewell last year.
Okay.
I think he is next in line to start. Maybe you don't spend a top 10 pick necessarily, although maybe you just dump Todd Davis next year. I wouldn't mind defensive line. I don't know how they'd use Ed Oliver. That's kind of a tweener in Denver's scheme because they can't figure out how to make DeMarcus Walker work either.
All right, so Broncos at pick 10. Who's more likely to be there at pick 10, Ed Oliver or Devin White?
Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver.
Okay, that was easy.
Very easy
Staples
one
button
for me. All right, use hashtag Chiefs now to have your questions or comments featured on the show. Mitch, we've kind of mentioned this a little bit before. I think Kansas City, with a first and 2 seconds and all kinds of needs in the back seven, make a lot of sense to go trade up for a corner or a safety or even still an edge guy.
I mean, their offense is set. I think they have...
Except for center. They need a center because Mitch Morse is gone. Other than that, I'd still argue for a guard. But overall, relative to the rest of the team, offense is fine.
Yeah, offense is absolutely fine. And I think when you're looking at just their defense, that's how they ended up losing last year. That's why I think the Patriots torched them. And I think when you're the Chiefs, we talked about Greedy Williams, the potential trade-up candidate they could go after. I mean, a cornerback. You got to build that secondary or else you're just not going to be able to compete.
I love Kendall Fuller. I love the pickup of Bashaud Breeland. Who else do you have at corner? And Fuller is a nickel guy. And I think that an instrument slot corner, not nickel. That's two different things kind of slightly. But nickel corner, who is your outside corner? I think Byron Murphy would be a great pick for them.
Well, he's more technical.
Yes.
I mean,
he is an instant starter at corner.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm a little bit worried about his athletic ability.
He is technically sound enough that it makes up for it. So it'll be fine. All right, Thunder 404. We'll get back to this one because it was definitely Broncos, but still, nothing to do with it. Tom and Mitch are the GOATs. I appreciate it, my man. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. I'm on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Now that was great. Did the Chiefs pick up another late receiver or another late round receiver? I think so. Oh. Maybe even in round 4.
Okay.
Because Chris Conley's gone. Tyreek Hill's got all kinds of stuff going on around him. That leaves you the injury-prone Sammy Watkins, DeMarcus Robinson, and Sammy Coates? Dicey there. Cody Martman says DeAndre Baker. If they don't trade up, I think that makes some sense.
It'd be a fun one. He's our number 3 corner?
Number 3 corner. I think by a pretty significant margin relative to 4, 5, 6, and beyond. At least for me personally.
Primetime Cheetah. Who do you think will draft Josh Allen?
I think the New York Jets will take him at number 3 overall.
I'm going to go with the Oakland Raiders.
That's what you want to have happen.
I do.
All right, let's get into the LA Chargers. Use hashtag Chargers to have your questions or comments featured on the show. A very quiet offseason for them. They added Thomas Davis and Tyrod Taylor, or Tyrod Taylor, depending on how you actually want to say it. Tyrell Williams leaves, Jason Verrett leaves. It's very similar to the team we saw last year. Couple needs jump out to me. Number 1, stop playing Sam Tevi at right tackle. Go get somebody else. Defensive line, you kept Brandon McBain. Is Justin Jones your next man up to help replace Corey Luigi, or do you spend a first-round pick on the spot? And then receiver as well. I like Mike Williams. I like Keenan Allen. Give me one more guy out wide. And then linebacker, safety, some guys to compete for a role
I
potentially.
mean, I think the loss of Tyrell Williams is actually going to hurt the offense a lot more, I think, than what people might give it credit to. But also now they're getting back Hunter Henry.
Exactly what I was about to say.
So
You'll be okay.
don't ask Stephen A. Smith, though. He played last year.
He did play last year. It's very, very true. So I think LA's in good shape late first round as Tanner Hunter, go Charge, go. That is a fantastic deep reference that I guarantee Mitchell does not understand.
I think I understand it.
What is it?
Arnold? Is that what Schwarzenegger? Or did he say go Chargers, go? No?
No, I mean, go Chargers, go is a phrase, but go Charge, go is a very specific Reddit joke, by the way. I got what you're saying there.
No idea.
Now, that was great. Should they trade to get Patrick Peterson? Well, of course they should. Arizona's not going to do it, I don't think.
I don't think you're going to give up one of the most premier players in the NFL at his position.
Every team should try to trade for him, but I don't think that one's going to go down there in the end. So, unfortunately, be fun. I just don't see that one going down. Let's move then to the Oakland Raiders. Again, folks, use hashtag Raiders to have your questions or comments featured on the show. So, Mitchell, ask us of the Raiders report. Take the lead.
Take the lead. The Raiders, I still think, have so many needs on the defensive side of the football, especially at the edge position. Now, I think they did a lot of really good things in free agency, and it was a free agency frenzy, you know, going out, trading for Antonio Brown, getting Trent Brown to $16.5 million, being able to protect Derek Carr's blind side. And you get Tyrell Williams, LaMarcus Joyner, a really good safety. They also added J.J. Nelson, a wide receiver who's going to really be able to stretch it. It's why I said Derek Carr 2019, it's their prove-it year. But the Raiders, I think, also are the most entertaining team in the NFL draft. 3 first-round picks.
Agreed.
No third-rounder, sure, but then they have a second-round pick in the 35. So 4 picks in the top 35.
In theory, you might be able to find 4 instant impact starters with your first 4 picks.
I think
come in right away and start.
It makes 100% sense to me. I mean, in 2018, they had 13 sacks. They had probably the worst defense in the NFL, and you're giving up the most points per game in the NFL. The Raiders have a lot of needs. For me, though, like, I understand they're at pick 4. I would love for the Raiders to trade back.
I don't blame you there at all. All right, Robert Guerrero says, do you like Nasir Adderley with the Oakland second-round pick or Deontay Thompson?
I'm probably going to go with Adderley. I'd probably go with Adderley. I mean, do you think he falls to 35, though?
I don't, but weird things happen on draft night. I think Thompson will be there. And they did sign LaMarcus Joyner, but what you could do is you could play Adderley at free safety and basically let Joyner be a nickel corner in those packages.
Well, I think that's one of the great things about Joyner. But also, I mean, let's not forget about Carl Joseph, who also really, really stepped up for the Raiders. I think he's just kind of getting pushed down a little bit. So,
Skyler, do the hashtag Raiders do a lot of trading picks up and down on draft day?
I hope so. It makes my job more entertaining.
Trades are fun. We do like trades here, right? Guys, if you like the Raiders, by the way, make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/Raiders Report. Mitch has all kinds of content going up for you guys every single day, all around the Oakland Raiders. Inspiring Munoz, a longtime fan, since the Raiders got a lot of their needs during the offseason, it's not out of the question that the Raiders will trade up and grab an elite edge rusher, Bosa or Allen.
I mean, in a perfect world, one of those guys is going to be available to the Raiders at number 4. In a perfect world, right? So I'm still not a believer that the Raiders are going to trade up for an elite edge rusher. I still think Kyler Murray is going to go in one of those top 3 picks. Sure, let's say Bosa or Allen then go at the next 2. I still think then the Raiders stick at 4. They take Quinnen Williams. I'd be okay with Quinnen Williams at 4 instead of giving up all these extra picks just to hopefully get Bosa or Allen.
The biggest problem about the Raiders trading up is not that they can't do it with their assets.
I mean, the 49ers and the Jets both have needs.
At edge. Yeah. So why would they trade with Oakland?
And why would the 49ers ever trade with the Raiders?
Exactly. North Fresh, Jacob seems like a great fit at the running back spot. What do you think, Mitch?
I think it's an okay fit. I mean, you just went out, you signed Isaiah Crowell. Now, again, it's a one-year deal. Josh Jacobs is a good fit, and I know Jon Gruden likes Josh Jacobs. But can Josh Jacobs be everything that the Raiders want? Like, the Raiders fans, like, y'all want Chris Warren to be great. You want Jalen Richard to be great. And I think they have solid options there. But you have a bigger need, in my opinion, than going and getting a running back in round 1. In my latest mock, now I had Jacobs at 35. Do you think Jacobs could be there at 35? That I would take.
I think so. I think there's a decent chance he's on the board there.
Okay.
By the way, Scott Norris, will they take Tom Cable off the Raiders' hands? Give me an FC for Fire Cable.
Y'all can have him. You guys can have Tom Cable. I want absolutely nothing to do with Tom Cable.
Everywhere he goes, the offensive line plays bad. So, FC, Fire Cable. The boss gets it. Raider Nation need to trade up for Nick Bosa and win now. By the way, FC.
FC. If you guys want Tom Cable fired, FC. I can tell the boss is a loyal watcher at youtube.com/RaidersReport, #1 Raiders channel on YouTube.
Primetime Cheetah, do you think they will move on from Derek Carr?
If Derek Carr can't get it done in 2019, the Raiders will move on from Derek Carr. Only a $5 million cap hit next year. So 2019, they're going to prove it to him. Like, you're going to go out, you're going to get Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams. You're going to build around him. You better be able to play. And if you don't, Derek, 2019, prove it year. Or 2020, you're gone.
All right, folks, make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/RaidersReport for all the latest on the Oakland Raiders.